Wednesday night again, and it's Squadron Live. My name is Brandon Lowe, and I am so glad that you're all here with me this evening. Like I've said many times the past few weeks, this is something that I'm looking forward to every week now. Wednesday night, hanging out with you guys. We're getting more and more of us together each week. Facebook, YouTube. I'm even streaming this to Twitter, or X as it's called now. I have no idea if anybody watches it there, but most of you here at YouTube, a lot of you at Facebook, I really appreciate you being here. And tonight we've got the Builder Showcase, the show and tell, the what's going to now be once a month. And we've got a few things to look at, so I'm excited about that, and we'll get into that in just a moment. It has been a long, busy day for me. Hope you guys have had a good day. But let me go through the chat here and say hello to everybody. Joseph, it's good to see you. You know, earlier when I got into the room, I was getting all the pictures that we're going to show together, and I noticed that Joseph was here an hour early. So good to see you tonight, buddy. I really appreciate you being here. And I'm glad that you got your kit. And you know, I saw you asking about this, and I've got to pull this up and look because I'm looking at the box art. You've got to tell me. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the model collector that I'm looking at. All right, I got to look at this because I want to see what you're talking about. I haven't seen that kit in a long time. Let's see. Here it is. And yeah, you're right. There are some Hanabus behind it. I didn't. I never noticed that before. Like I said, I haven't seen this kit in a long time. I don't think it's currently available. Hopefully they'll put it back out because it's really neat. That is just an absolutely huge vehicle. And I mean, you see the mouse tanks in front of it, which those are huge tanks. So it's a neat kit. But yeah, good eye and good catch seeing those Hanabu flying around on there. So hey, Henry, nice to see you tonight. And Wes, good to see you as well. And yes, as Wes is pointing out here, the interview that I was able to do with Valeria from ICM, I was able to finally post that sometime between now and last Wednesday night. I think maybe Thursday or Friday last week is when that went live. But if you've not had a chance to see that yet, go over to our Squadron TV YouTube channel, and it is one of the last videos that was posted. It's Valeria with ICM. It's about an hour long, so she just goes through all the things that ICM does as far as a little bit of the history of the company. Valeria is the daughter of the owner of ICM. Her brother does some work with them, so it's a family business. And she talks a little bit about the history and how they got started, and talks about her roles at the company, and kind of how kits come into production and how they come to be. So it's really neat. So check that out if you've not. And Wes, glad you were able to see that. Randy, good to see you tonight, and good to see the lawn care novice. And you know, I might need you to come over to my house soon because my lawn is starting to grow. And since you know that's apparently what you do, you're a novice. You're even being a novice, you're better than me. So please come over, and afterwards we can build some models. How about that? Jason, good to see you tonight, buddy. And you are right, Linsky. It is Wednesday night. It's good to see you tonight, buddy. Ed, hope everything out in Texas is going your way, and thank you for the pictures that you sent. We'll look at those in a few minutes. Looking forward to it. Scott, also got to see the ICM interview. Excellent. Good to see you tonight. And Rex is here. And TD from Ohio is here. And Nick's with us again. Hello to you, Michael. And Carlos, hello, buddy. Nice to see you. And Jason, going back to this ICM interview, we'll probably mention that like a lot tonight, just so you know, guys. But yeah, I'm very excited to get the B-26 as well. And just so everybody knows, the B-26 kits, they have been released. ICM released them on March 25th, so last week. And ours have been packed up. They have shipped, and they have left Ukraine. And they are actually possibly supposed to be in the airport tomorrow or Friday. Now, if you've watched my show for the past several weeks, you know that just because it shows up to the airport doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting it Friday. We unfortunately have to wait on U.S. Customs to inspect and clear these things. And like I mentioned, my last shipment from ICM, it showed up in like the customs cleared it. They didn't even stop it. So the day it came to the airport, I had it a day or two later. The shipment before that, customs held it for 5 weeks. So you never know. Hopefully, we'll be a little bit closer to the 1 or 2 days after it gets to the airport this time with any luck. But we can keep our fingers crossed and hope that we will all be able to have those B-26 kits in our stash very, very soon. So good to see you tonight, Tom. Happy Wednesday to you as well, Greg. Let's see. One of the many villages of the White Sands. That's, you've probably had the a little bit warmer weather than we have had, but we were finally, up here in North Georgia, we were finally starting to get some warmer days. And today, that was not the case. I was not at the shop today. So if anybody tried to call me, I do apologize. I was not there. My brother was not there to answer the phone in my absence, and my dad went somewhere with us as well. We had to go check something out today. So anyway, apologize for missing your phone calls today. But where we headed this morning, we got there and get out of the truck, and I was like, good grief, man, we need a jacket. Just a few days ago, short sleeves, and I thought summer was finally coming, but winter showed back up today. But hope everything is going your way down there. Ted, just in time, I see you. Nice to see you tonight. And Jeremiah was a bullfrog. And yes, I just got the email from Mrs. Bullfrog of the flying saucer. So I will be showing those off here shortly for our show and tell. So now the next thing I need to do, I need to get you to call my wife and get her to build her first model, because I've been unsuccessful in that so far, but looks like you had some success with that, so maybe you can teach me a few tricks on how to get that going over here. Let's see. Party time indeed, Frank. Good to see you tonight. Nice to see you. What? Poconos? Okay. Nice to see you, buddy. Tommy G, South Carolina. And Michael, glad you could make it as well. And I did just see your last minute email of your Panther G. So we'll throw that up on the screen here shortly. Let's see. Nice to see you tonight, Jim and Steven. John, good to see you tonight, buddy. The next Squadron in Action book is going to be the AJ Savage in Action. Now, many of you probably have already seen that announcement. We put it in our catalog last year, and when we originally announced that, I didn't realize how much longer it was going to take. But David Doyle wrote that book, and it was my fault. I jumped the gun, announced it a little prematurely possibly, but David, he did a real good job. He had a lot more research to do at the time I made that announcement last year. But I'm happy to say that as of this past Friday, the book is finished. We finished it up. We're doing some final proofreading and things like that at the moment. But with any luck, by this time next week, the book will be in the hands of the printers, and we will be well on our way for a IPMS Nationals 2024 release date, finally. So that will definitely be the next book. The next book after that, I don't know for sure, but I feel pretty confident it will be the B-24 nose art book that I have been talking about for the past several weeks now. And just yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, Peter is my artist who one of these days on the he's going to do an interview with me very soon. We're supposed to do it this week in the same format that I did with Valeria. And one of the things I told him he's got to do on when I talk to him is, see, I'm from South Georgia, so I can't pronounce some words, and his last name is one of those words that I'm not sure how to say. So I told him this is his website, and there's his name right there, Forkaziowicz or something. So I told Peter, his website is peter4.com. So I call him Peter4. But I said, Peter, you've got to tell me how to pronounce your last name. So anyway, he is the co-author on the B-24 book with me. And just yesterday, we decided that we decided on a name for the book and a name for the series of the book. And what we decided is that if any of you remember back in the 90s, I think in 1990, Larry Davis wrote Planes, Names, and Dames for Squadron. And it was the Nose Art series of books. And he actually did 3 volumes. Volume 1 was World War II, 1940 to 45. Volume 2 was 46 to sometime in the 60s. I forget exactly when. And then volume 3 was after that. And they were nice books. Very cool. I've got a copy of each of those. But what we decided to do with this is continue that series. So the B-24 Nose Art book will be a continuation of the Nose Art series, and it'll be Planes, Names, and Dames, Volume 4, B-24 Liberator. And our intention, if it goes well and everybody likes it and it sells well, that Volume 5 will be B-17s. And then we've got more plans beyond that, but we need to see how the first one does first and the first 2 do, and we'll see. So that'll be pretty cool. And we've got a lot of interesting things that this book's going to include that I don't think have ever been done, because it's going to be like a book, and it's going to be kind of like a decal painting guide as well, because every nose art that's in the book is going to come on a decal sheet that's also available. So it's going to be cool. So those are definitely coming. Savage, B-24 nose art. And then we've got some other things in the works that David Doyle is writing, and that Dana Bell, who did the TBD Devastator book for us last year, he is working on another one for us. And I don't want to do to him what I did to David and announce it prematurely, so that will I will hold back what that's going to be. But Dana's going to do a really good job on that. And then a few weeks ago when I had Jeff Hearn on the show with me, we talked about his Fletcher class books that he had written back in the 90s, and I'm working with him to do that and possibly some other ship-related books. So we've got some other things coming down the line, but, we'll just see what happens, and we'll get this Savage book out, get the B-24 book out, and then we'll go from there as far as what will be next. So good to see you tonight, Mark. Good to see you, Wayne and Barry. And Jim, going back to this ICM interview again. See, guys, I told you we're going to talk about it a lot tonight. It is very cool. You talk about, a lot of people talk about, is the hobby industry dying? And I would not myself use the word dying. I would use possibly I would use changing, perhaps. But it is no secret that a lot of kids don't build models today like they did 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But you're still seeing some younger people get involved. But those facts, the fact that kids, you might choose a video game over a model kit or whatever the case may be, all of those things are what made people say things like the hobby industry is dying. But what's amazing to me is, regardless of the overall health of the hobby industry, companies like ICM, and Jim mentioned it here, that working 24 hours a day, their factory is open 24/7. They literally run their factory and they run their production all day, every day. They've got multiple shifts of workers that come in. And I'll tell you, ICM's not the only model kit factory that's like this. There are several others that run their production 24/7. So there's a lot of model kits being made. ICM is one of many companies. Like I said, and many of the companies are running this full 24/7 type of production with 100, 200, however many. ICM talked about having about 150 employees, but every company is going to be a little different. But you've got hundreds of employees working these shifts and creating these model kits for us. So it is it is very interesting. And on top of that, ICM's doing it, like Jim mentioned, in a war zone because there's literally a war going on outside their factory doors at the moment. And in fact, when I was doing this interview with Valeria, we got on the screen and we said hello and we were just talking for a few minutes before it got started. I thought we were going to have to cancel and reschedule because as we were saying hello and getting ready, she got a bombing raid alert on her phone. And the factory, they've got a bomb shelter, and when that happens, all the employees go and everybody's got their job of what is important to grab and take with them. But thankfully they were okay and they didn't have to do that, and we were able to get the interview done. But it's crazy. So ICM's doing a great job over there for all of us that like our plastic. So anyway, nice to see you, Charles. Better late than never, right? 83 and quite windy in Central Florida. Yeah, it was definitely not 83 here today. It was quite a bit cooler than that, but yeah, it's been windy up here too. And howdy to you too, by the way. Let's see. Been snowing since Easter. Thankfully, it's not that cold here, Michael. And then here we are, 411 maintainer from Canada. I bet it's even colder up there. Let's see. Red Dawn says, what are my thoughts on the new 35th scale Apache from Trumpeter? You know, it is so, it is very interesting to me that all of these model kit companies somehow or another come up with the exact same great idea all at the same time. And, this year, it's obviously the year of 35th scale Apache helicopters. So my opinion on it yet, I don't know because I haven't seen it. I imagine it's going to be nice. One way of looking at it is the other companies that have already done theirs, Trumpeter got to go to school on those. They got to look at them. They got to see what did they do, how did they do it, what did they get wrong. So theoretically, Trumpeters should be the best one available. But that may or may not be the case. So of course the Ming ones are nice, the TACM kits are nice, but like I said, I hadn't seen the Trumpeter one yet. They'll be in sometime soon. I think they're coming in on the next shipment if I remember correctly. But I'll have to pop it open and take a look. So like I said, it should be nice, but until it gets here, I can't I can't really speak on it. So all right. Auction item showed up. Good, Jim. You got to get it built. Let's see. There you go, Wayne. Yeah, you'll be able to see it good there. We'll just get a little dark over here, but that's all right. The last one that came through a couple of years ago, it was right over our shop. So glad you're going to get to experience this one, though. Let's see. Michael, sitting here away from my shop, I can't answer that. I don't know. But if you'll send me an email and remind me when I get back to the shop, I can look it up and see. Greg, the Minicraft models, they were always pretty decent kits. And if you, any of the Minicraft models, that one included, if you miss out on getting them, just keep in mind that Academy has bought Minicraft. So a lot of the Minicraft models are going to be, and they have already started being reissued by Academy. So John got the new TBD book. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I thought Dana did a really nice job on that book. So, and looks like your in-action books, 243 of them. That's awesome. I have no idea how many of them I have. I've been collecting them, I want all of them, as I'm sure you do too. But one of these days I got to get mine put in order and make a list of what I've got. Let's see. Jason, the nose art book is not up for pre-order yet, only because we have yet to finish the cover art. And as soon as we finish the cover art and finalize the page count, I'll be able to price it. And then once I get the price on it, we'll put it up for pre-order. This one's going to be really interesting because we're going to do something um, that I've not done yet. I don't know with as many Squadron books as have been done in the past. Perhaps it's been done and I don't know about it. But we've got a couple of pages that are going to be fold out. So when you open the book, those pages are going to open again. So it's going to be a 4-page full image across that Peter's doing, and it's going to be some really, really cool pictures. The one that I'm very excited to see is, and I don't want to spoil the book because I want it to be something special when everybody sees it, but one of the cool pictures that he's working on right now, and it's a double fold out. It's the B-24. I think they were D's. Forgive me if I if I miss speaking there, but they're the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves B-24s. And there's the Seven Dwarves, there's Snow White, and there's Prince Charming. So there's 9 of them that were all in the same squadron together. And Peter's doing a really cool image of all 9 planes flying together, and it's going to be on that double fold out. So because we're doing things like that where you've got the double fold outs and the extra large pages and all this stuff, it's a little bit different than how the printer priced our previous books that we did without all that special kind of stuff. So as soon as we finalize how many of those special kind of fold out pages there's going to be and get a full page count, we'll be able to get a price from the printer, and then we can get it up for pre-order. So but it's a lot of work going on in this book, so I'm not sure when that'll be, but we'll get it priced up and up for pre-order soon. And Henry, yes, we are the ones keeping the hobby alive, and hopefully we continue to do that for a long time. Let's see, I want to skip on down a little bit so we have enough time to look through all this show and tell stuff. So if I'm skipping over one of your comments, I do apologize, but we got to get to the show and tell here in just a moment. Let's see. This is a quick answer real quick. John, the AJ Savage book, I believe, is 130. Oh man, I just laid it out. I think it's 136, but I could be off a few pages, but I think it's 136. It's somewhere around there. It's about the same length as the B-25 detail and action book we did. Let's see. All right, well, that is all the chats at the moment. So let's jump over here and get into the show and tell, because that is what we are here for tonight, right? All right, let me make sure I can do this right. Let's see. Bear with me. I got to get it queued up here. All right, well, I need to pull up Michael's picture real quick because I thought I saved it in my folder, and I don't see it, so bear with me. All right, so this is the picture that Michael Cantor just sent in, and if you're sending any more pictures, or if you have sent any more pictures since this show started, it's going to be included in next month's, because I'm not pulling up any more emails at this point, so I apologize about that. But Michael sent this right before the show started, so we're going to slip this one in real quick. And this is his Rye-filled models, Panther G, the cutaway version. And so this is what he's got going on for the inside of that kit. And like I mentioned last week, I want the show and tell to be kits that we've finished, but also kits that are in process, so that you know, hopefully when he finishes this and has the whole tank, he can show that off in a future video. So it'll be interesting that we can follow each other's builds through these show and tells month after month. So, but this is where he's at so far with his Panther, with the interior. So looking forward to seeing the rest of that kit sometime soon. All right, so let's dive into these. And I've got some information on these, but some of these, if I don't have any information, either you didn't send me any information, or for whatever reason I didn't see the information. So I do apologize if I am forgetting something or missing something here. But let's see. Oh, that's why I didn't have Michael's in the folder, because I was looking at the wrong week's show and tell. All right, well, I'm gonna get my act together one day. All right, we're starting out with James S. Robinette, and this is his 35th scale Panther G with the Edward Zimmerit installed. And there's what he's got there. Okay, and there's it finished. Got him a figure on there as well. Oh, I got to get. I didn't mean to get me to where you can't hear me. There we go. All right. So this again is James Robinette and his Panther. Very cool. All right. Next up, this is Ed Groon. Ed's out in Texas. And you know, this is really funny to me, because I've known Ed a long time, and always go out to the IPMS Nationals and we judge ships together, and it's always a good time. So sometimes you assume that you know what kind of models your buddy builds. I just assumed that Ed was a ship guy, and heck, he probably assumed I was a ship guy, but I say it all too often. Modelers are modelers. So it's funny seeing some of the submissions you guys send me. It's like, oh, I didn't know Ed built that kind of stuff. But this, I love this, because I am I'm a big Elvis fan. So when I saw this, I had to laugh. So check this out from Ed. There we go. So there's Elvis serving up some burgers, and this is a figure that Jimmy Flintstone sculpted, somewhere in the ballpark of 12th scale, 1/12 scale. And Jimmy Flintstone, if you know him, then you know what I mean when I say that he is a great guy, but can be an odd duck. He's got some very, very interesting figures, and this, of course, being one of them. So Ed did this one up, painted it using oils, he said. So he did a great job on that, Ed. It made me laugh when I opened it up and saw it. I can just imagine Elvis said, "Would you like some fries with that?" Oh, man. All right, so here we go with some more things from Ed. And again, like I said, just figured Ed for a ship modeler, and here we go with some interesting things. So, and according to what Ed said, he did all these in oils and acrylics. And let's see. Okay, Ed, I'm trying to figure out which one is which. So, by process of elimination, this is Collis's Zuevas, perhaps? No? All right, Ed, you're in the chat. You got to tell us what these are. I'm assuming that's the General. And I know which one this is. That's Marilyn Monroe. That is Andrea Miniatures for sure. Oh, that must be the one that I probably incorrectly announced a moment ago. So there you go, Ed. Tell us what you got here. nice job on those. Sorry for slaughtering the names and pronunciations of what you built. All right, next up we've got Randy Harvey, and he's got a nice little collection here of things that he has done since the last time we showed off his builds. So let's check this out. And he's got a little description of each one of these up here. And if you're more interested in reading these, you can watch the replay of this video and hit pause on it, and you'll be able to see his work and his description of what he's done a little bit better. But done a nice job there. 35th scale police set here from Tamiya. Very cool. I like the geese that he used. And here we go with a modeling after an image. So that's kind of cool. Tamiya motorcycle kit. Oh, and if you notice the kitty cat in the real picture, he's done the same thing here, and he used a Bachmann railroad figure set for the cat. So nice use of things outside of the normal military model world. So that's cool. Very neat. A Tallery kit here. Oh, cool. That's that old Lindbergh kit. Yeah, that's neat seeing that little teaser. I told you, me and my family were gone today from the shop. Little teaser of where we were. I won't tell you where we were, but we saw a lot of Civil War cannons. In a week or two, I'll tell you where I was, because we were doing something that's going to lead up to something exciting. But yeah, saw some Civil War cannons today. All right, here's a Tamiya Panzer Kampfwagen. Very nice job on that. More Tallery kits here. Ah, that's cool. Neat. Use a glow-in-the-dark clear coat. Oh man, I've never thought about doing that. I got to check into that, because that would make some of my figure kits look really, really cool up here in my arcade room when I have the black lights on. All right, that's cool. I'm gonna steal an idea from you, buddy. Alright, let's go. An MHAR set. Man, I hadn't seen an MHAR kit in a long time. But you did a good job with that one, cutting the barbed wire. Very cool. Oh, and not to interrupt what we're showing here, but Ed just answered us in the chat. Some of those figures were Reaper miniatures. Okay, cool. All right, back over here, we got a Heller Jeep. Heller's back in business. We don't have any of their kits in our warehouse, but maybe that'll change sometime soon, because they were bought up and moved and back in operation now. So, Tamiya howitzer kit, the M8. Nice job on that. And here we go with another figure, a pirate. Oh, cool. So he says he used the Archer decal transfers for the tattoos. That's pretty cool. I've actually got a set of those figure tattoos in my stash. I've never used them, but that's cool to see how you used them on a pirate. Very good use there. Some Zulu warriors. Who are these by? A Call to Arms. Oh yeah, I remember that brand. Very cool. The grass is unraveled rope. Well, that's a good way to do that. It's very realistic looking. Cool, good job. Crusader Knight. Very nice on that. Master Box. Master Box does some very unique things. You know, on one of the Facebook modeling groups today, I saw a guy post a Master Box figure set, and and he thought it was an April Fool's joke, and it's not an April Fool's joke. It's a real Master Box kit, and I won't pull up a picture. You'll just have to go to my website and see, and hopefully I have them in stock. But it's called Somewhere in Saigon, and let's just say that Master Box makes some very unique model kits, and I'll leave it at that for now. All right, let's see, another Heller kit. Very nice. The R35. Mirage Hobby. Mirage makes some very interesting kits. Lots of 72 scale, but they do some 35th scale kits too, just like this. So that's cool. The Monogram Sherman. This is one of my favorite ways to do this tank. That rocket launcher on the top is just mean looking. All right, and that is all for him, except he also included his work in progress, and he says that this is what he's working on right now, and here's where he's at. So he's working through it, and he's got the base going, and he says more on this to come in a future show and tell. So that's very cool that's what you've got started, and we're looking forward to seeing your future progress on that, Randy. So thank you for sending all that. All right, moving on to TJ Petta, who is the guy that got us started in all this show and tell stuff weeks ago. So he's got some more submissions, a couple here, and this is pretty neat. This is when these kits came out, I was a big fan of these kits. I've not built any. Surprise. I guess I could say that I'm one of the many who are waiting on the last one of these to finally come out, but that didn't stop TJ, because he's got the 4 of them that are out, done, and they look great. These are the Mobius kits of the 1966 Batman series, and the one that I'm referring to that has still yet to come out is the Batgirl, but maybe they'll get it one day. And I think there's a couple others too, and I don't know, maybe we'll get a future picture from TJ. I think they got the Riddler and the Joker, but these 4, Penguin and Batman and Robin and Catwoman, that's really cool. Nice job. And then he also has, from the same company, the Monsters kits. So nice job on those, TJ. Very very cool and fun to see those kits built. All right, moving on to Steven Zielinski. And I have no descriptions for these, Steven. If I missed that in the email, I do apologize. But we'll just scroll through these real quick and let everybody see what you've got built here recently. It's always cool to see the big rigs built. You don't see as many of them as I wish, because they always turn out looking like nice models. Nice job on his German armor. Always good to see a half track. figures always make them come to life. So good job on that. Very nice on that. I love how different all the half tracks are. It's like you can see 50 half tracks and they're all different looking. That's pretty cool. I like how you were able to use that rope. It looks nice. And the Texas. I'm ready to go to Texas and see the Texas. I saw some pictures of it a couple of days ago, and it looks pretty fabulous what they've been doing to the restoration. So good job with your Texas. Excellent. All right, well, Stephen, thank you for sending those in. Got a couple more here. These are from Mark Eggerer. I believe that's, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, Mark. And here is his, I believe this is a Scud B, I think. Nice job on that. That's just a, thing is huge. Oh, cool, you got it to where you can raise and lower it. That's nice. Yep, Scud B, R17. That's neat. Got him a little name tag display for it with a little description of what it is. That's, I love that. I have not done that to any of my kits, but that just, I just like that idea, because when you've got them displayed, and I've said this many times before, displayed, and if people don't know what it is, you can look at it and get a little description of what it is. It's just really cool. So good job on that. And there's a Rommel's rod. I always love seeing these with the skeletons driving. That's super cool. Nice job on that. The Tijuana Taxi. That always looks like a fun kit. Alright, next he sent us some pictures also of his model room. So that looks like a pretty cool model room. Got the planes hanging all up. Very neat. Got some diorama action going on there. Lots of other kits in the background there, so very cool. Lots of stuff going on. So I like how you hang your box art up. That's cool. Very neat. All sorts of different scales. Big scales, little scales. Very cool. Oh wow. There's Loki. Very cool. All right. One more here. Now, what do you got that you're working on? Working on a Nelson battleship. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for sending those, Mark. I appreciate that. And now we are to Miss Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog and her first model kit. This is the Plan 9 from outer space. Let's check this out. Even has the little green Martian flying. Awesome. Yep, like I said, you got to get my wife to get her first model kit going. Awesome. Cool. Well, that is all of the kits that I had for this show, but I'm going to show you a couple of mine so you guys believe me that I actually build models. I'll just show you a couple and add some more next time. So this was a 350th scale USS Little that I did. And I don't even remember when I did that. It's been several years. That's sitting on the display case at our old store up in Blue Ridge, so it's been several years. This was a Nagato, 350th scale Hasegawa Nagato that I did. And that was also a few years back. But I had a lot of fun doing that one. That was one of the first times I got to use a wood deck on a Japanese battleship, so it worked out good. But I liked it. It was fun. And this is the Blue Ridge Models Nautilus that we did several years ago. I did that, and that's one of the only times I have all these grand ideas of making these cool display bases, and that was one that I actually went through with and made a cool display base. So, and then I told you I built a lot of figures, and this is my Nightcrawler figure. So here we go. So that's what I've got cooking right now. And then this is a little bit different from show and tell, but last week we talked about the Squadron museum that I want to make in our store one day. And a lot of you sent in emails showing me things and whatever, and I've saved some of these pictures. I want to show you some of this stuff that you guys sent. So this is really neat. So David Blankenship sent me these, and we'll just scroll through these kind of quick. But this is, you know, I'm on the hunt to find where all of the Squadron shops were. So a lot of these pictures, these are old magazines, old Squadron flyers and whatnot. But, you know, here's the grand opening of the Philadelphia Squadron shop ad. So that's just really neat. Here's an ad for the Chicago Squadron shop. There's the Cleveland shop. And then the one out in San Francisco talking about they moved. So, I mean, these Squadron shops were literally all across the whole country. So, let's see, David sent this one in too. So, just more in there. There's your picture of the inside. And you can see up here they had aircraft models on display. And this one was in Washington, D.C. So, really, really cool stuff, and I'm so glad you guys are sending all this stuff in, and please continue to do so. There's the Detroit store, more of the Philadelphia store. So anyway, and then, so Ed, going back to Ed Groon, he sent me a picture, and he's actually going to send me these t-shirts for us to frame and put up in the Squadron Museum. So that thank you, Ed, a lot for that. And some of these I actually remember. Some of these weren't too terribly long ago, but these, here's the back of it. These were shirts that Squadron did, and if I remember correctly, Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, they would give these out, or you would draw to win, or whatever, however you got them. They would do these at the IPMS Nationals, and they had several different designs. I remember I had this one. That was one of the first ones that I got, one of the only ones I got. I had two, I think. I don't remember this one. That one's cool. But they had these shirts that, this is the other one I had. I remember this one. So these were just really neat, and you can see that's an IPMS shirt. But then, obviously, they did shirts for their own show too, the Eagle Quest. And I don't have any of these. I never got to go to an Eagle Quest. But they did all these kind of shirts. You might have seen some of these. So just really neat things. And glad that Ed's got these. And glad he's going to send those down. We'll frame these up and add them to the museum. And everybody will be able to see what Squadron did in the past. So thanks, Ed. So this is from Michael Baker. This, and if you saw the catalog we did last year, we called it the Squadron. This is why. The original Squadron catalog, flyer, books, whatever, they were kind of a combination of all of that. They called it the Squadron. And these are some of the early on ones that Michael Baker has sent us a picture of. Yeah, this is volume 1, number 2, and this one, that's number 4, 1971. Let's see, volume 1, number 3. And back then, they say they were quarterly. And then later on, let's see if it says fall 1972. It didn't take them long to start going to color fronts. And some of these, and I don't know which ones, and let's see, I can't, is that Don? Yeah, I think it is. Don Greer did a lot of the paintings for the covers of these things. So it was a big deal back then. So it's just kind of neat to see these. Let's see, where are we at? They're still in 1972. There you go. Yeah, this is the format of the logo that we ended up using and that what we'll go with going forward. Yeah, let's see. And that was a Feist. That wasn't a Don Greer. That was one of their other artists that did a lot of the German stuff. But just really neat stuff. I don't know. Oh, there we go. And these, some of the same kind of stuff. Terry Hepner sent these over to us. So you can see a few more of them. But it's just neat, some of the stuff that they did back then. And this, let's see, Terry sent this over too. Just more of the same kind of stuff. So it's just really neat. I'm glad you guys have some of that stuff. My collection of that old stuff is growing more and more. So we'll just see what keeps coming up. And we'll scroll back up through the chat real quick and see what I missed while I was showing all those pictures. Let's see. Barry, how many units does a manufacturer put out to make a profit? You know, I'm assuming that that is probably different manufacturer to manufacturer. Some of them that have been doing it a long time, they probably got the formula down to a science. Some of these new brands that seem to be popping up all the time, they're probably trying to figure it out. So I'm sure the answer to that, and I don't know the answer, I'm sure the answer to that would be different with every manufacturer. Frank says Ed is a ship guy. Well, tonight he was a figure guy. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Yeah, all you guys were talking about the pictures, so that's good. Glad that you can chat with each other there too. And I had a couple of guys call this week asking how to chat here in the show. Keep in mind that to be a part of the chat, most of the chat is taking place in YouTube, by the way. So if you're watching on Facebook and you're wondering who in the heck am I talking to, all the chat, most of the chats are being done in YouTube. So if you watch the show next week, watch it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And to be a part of the chat, make sure you are subscribed to our channel, Squadron TV. And I believe you have to have been subscribed for at least 24 hours before you're able to participate in the chat. So if you're not subscribed tonight, that's why you can't chat with us. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Squadron TV, right here below. And that way next Wednesday night you'll be able to talk with us. Hey, Scotty, glad you made it. Better late than never, and I appreciate you guys too, man. This is just this is my hobby too, so I'm having as much fun as you guys. So let's see. Awesome rigging. So that rigging, it's actually funny you say that, because the what I used for that rigging is called Easy Line, made by Berkshire Junction, and we just got that stuff in stock this week, and I've got it on the website, but it's you can't see it yet. It's hidden because I got to take pictures of it. We used to carry that years ago at Free Time Hobbies, and that's what I used for that Nagato, and it works really good. It's really elastic. So if you hadn't tried it, give it a shot. It's not that expensive, and it goes one roll goes a long way, and it's very easy to use. It may not be as fine as some of the other options, but for a guy like me that is not really good, and it's really easy. Hence the name Easy Line. So check that out. We'll have that up on the site soon. I just got to take pictures of it. Maybe I can get that done in the next couple of days. And yes, Ed, I do know I owe you a shipping label. I should be able to get that to you tomorrow. Like I said, I was gone today, and just didn't happen yet, but I'll get it to you. James, good to see you. You are watching on Facebook, so glad to see you there. And yeah, the chat does work on Facebook too, but just pointing out that most everybody's chatting in YouTube, and I don't think if you're on Facebook that you can see the YouTube chats, and vice versa. So let's see. Greg, do I have the rights to reuse any of which items? Let me know which items you're referring to there. Hey, Michael. If you're just joining, I showed my build. I showed some of my builds a few minutes ago, so you can scroll back through the replay of this and pull all those up later if you want to. But my builds, they do actually exist. There's a Nagato that I built, so I get a chance every now and again to finish a kit. Yeah, Jim, the Easy Line, they've got a lot of different colors. Of course, I used black for that ship, but they've got white and green and blue, all sorts of stuff. So you can do, a lot of people use it for the aircraft stuff as well, ships, aircraft. I know a lot of model railroad guys use it, so it's pretty handy stuff. Tom, the show and tell pictures, it is going to be once a month. I don't want to commit to the first Wednesday of the month because plans can change and things can change, but it is going to be once a month. I'm trying to think what's going to be. Let's see, what is the first of? Yeah, May 1st is the first Wednesday in May. We could probably do that. Let's go ahead and plan the next show and tell for May 1st. So everybody send me some stuff, send some pictures in, and we'll do the next show and tell on May 1st. Okay, Greg, the old covers. So yes and no. It just depends. Some of them we can, but whether we have the rights to them or not really doesn't matter, because a lot of those old paintings, like the Don Greer paintings, a lot of those are gone. I couldn't use them even if I wanted to. As far as scanning them in. Some of them exist, but the old shirts, I probably wouldn't use the designs on the old shirts because I'd rather come up with something new and fresh. Not that those were bad, they're really good, but we'll leave well enough alone for those, and we'll go ahead and make some new ones. And I've got some cool ideas. I was talking to a couple of my guys just a couple of days ago about the potential of some new shirt designs, and we've got some ideas. After Ed showed all those to me, it sparked some ideas in my mind and a couple of my other artists' minds. So we got some stuff cooking. So we'll see. Scott, as far as classic warships goes, they are not producing anything. Maybe you're thinking of a different brand. Classic Warships, they quit producing stuff years and years ago. Now, he is still producing books or publishing books, the Classic Warships books, but his resin line, that was closed down or sold off or whatever to Yankee Model Works many years ago. So he's definitely not doing them. But as far as other companies doing those, I can't. I'm surely somebody is, but I can't think of who has them right here at the moment. It's getting a little late. But shoot me an email sometime and I'll take a look and see. All right. Well, and Frank, yes, that is correct. The guy that owns all those stores, he's definitely the guy involved with that. But the front man of that business, his name is Lee Leibold, and he's the guy that you will see at the IPMS Nationals and other shows selling the artwork from Squadron Signal Publications. And he's got a lot of them, but I guess I should elaborate on what I was talking about a moment ago. He's got what still exists. Lee has, at least what he hasn't sold yet, but a very large majority of the original Don Greer and other artists' paintings were thrown out. And the reason being is, and I don't know the whole story. If somebody's listening that used to work out in Texas for Squadron, you know better than me. But apparently a lot of those original paintings, the really, really old ones, were stored in not climate controlled conditions. And at some point it was determined that they were all molded and water damaged, and they all got thrown out. So Lee Leibold would, if you're looking for a specific painting, Lee Leibold would be the one that would know what that time frame is. But there's a certain time that basically everything prior to that time is basically gone, doesn't exist anymore. But everything after that point in time, either Lee Leibold has or somebody has bought it from him, and it's hanging on their wall in their model room somewhere. But anyway, Lee Leibold would be the guy to check with if you're interested in any of those original paintings. And yes, Frank, that is true. He scans them in and he sells prints of them as well, which are much easier to grab a hold of because there's only one of the original painting. And if you miss out on that, you can still get some of them. And all of those were really nice. Don, of course, Don's the most well known for Squadron paintings, but they had a lot of other good artists too. Well, guys, that's going to wrap us up for tonight. I really appreciate you all being here. This was fun. April 1st, May 1st, a month from now, we'll do the show and tell again. But we'll be back next Wednesday for whatever comes up between now and then. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of modeling news. Hey, with any luck, maybe we'll have a B-26 next week from ICM. We can hope, right? Go check out that interview with Valeria if you haven't. And y'all have a great week. Until next time, take it easy and call me if you need anything. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.